Seasonal train service from Boston to Cape Cod is here to stay, and the annual archery deer hunt on Sandy Neck is coming up. We have details about an important meeting for hunters, plus tips for safe trick-or-treating. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable This Morning. It's Thursday, October 31st, 2013. I'm Sarah Mannel. The Cape Flyer is getting state support. The successful pilot program of the seasonal weekend train earned $390,000 and carried more than 16,000 passengers between Boston and Hyannis in its first year. Governor Deval Patrick outlined the state's support of the project and, speaking in Hyannis Tuesday, said that the state will launch a study on the feasibility of year-round weekend service and adding a stop in Wareham. Cape Cod Community College is also getting a boost from the state. During his visit Tuesday, Patrick also discussed plans to spend $36 million on a brand new science and technology building at the college's West Barnstable campus. The current science building was constructed in 1970 and is outdated. The new building will house a slew of laboratories and study space. College President John Cox says construction will take about 3 years. Just where the building will be placed on campus has yet to be determined. The annual archery deer hunt will take place on Sandy Neck from November 25th through the 30th, or until 6 deer are taken. All hunters wishing to participate must attend a mandatory meeting, which will cover special regulations, objectives, and prerequisites for participation. Those wishing to participate in the archery hunt must attend the meeting on Tuesday, November 19th at 7 p.m. That will be held at the Centerville Recreation Building. A meeting for those interested in the primitive firearms hunt will be held in December. Well, if you are interested in turning extra space in your home into affordable housing, the town of Barnstable can help. Barnstable property owners who wish to create an accessory affordable apartment at their primary residence may apply for a maximum $20,000 loan. Funds assist homeowners to install improvements that are required to comply with building, health, and safety codes to prepare the apartment for rental. Contact Cindy Dabkowski in the Growth Management Department for details. Well, it is Halloween, and that means kids across town will be hitting the streets trick-or-treating. Channel 18's Sarah Colvin got trick-or-treat safety tips from Barnstable Police Sergeant Sean Sweeney.
Good morning, everyone. This is our special Halloween edition of Barnstable This Morning, talking a little bit about Halloween safety now, and I welcome from the Barnstable Police Department, Sergeant Sean Sweeney. Sergeant Sweeney, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
So, of course, Halloween, lots of fun for the kids. Everybody gets all excited about getting dressed up, going out trick-or-treating, etc. But, of course, also very important to keep some safety tips in mind. Sergeant Sweeney, tell me a little bit, give me kind of an overview of what people should keep in mind in terms of staying safe on Halloween. All
right. A little quick overview would be, the kids are going to be excited. They're going to want to get out there, dressed as little ghouls and goblins and monsters. So a couple of things you want to keep in mind. First of all, you want to watch for traffic, because they're going to be darting in and out. That also goes for people driving on Halloween. Slow it down on Halloween, because no one wants to hit a little kid that's having a great time. But they're going to be running, around. They're going to be excited. They're not going to be thinking of automobiles. So for the first, thing, you want to get people to slow down. And for the little goblins and ghouls, you want to also, make sure that they can see out of that face mask. You don't want any kind of mask that they have on them. Sometimes face paint is a little better.
Exactly. You don't want something that obstructs their vision or
right.
keeps them from being able to see where they're going.
Right, because it does get dark early this time of the year. You want to have a flashlight. You want to watch for traffic. Have some type of costume that they can see out of, that they can that won't block their vision, and that they won't. Just in fact of tripping. You don't want a costume that's going to cause tripping, fall on the steps or something like that. Absolutely.
Should they bring things like flashlights and have reflective strips on the costume so people can see them a little bit better on the roadways?
Well, all that is great. Sometimes if they feel like the reflective tape or something might take away from their costume, but it's all great, you know. And they should have a flashlight. You should have a flashlight just so you can examine stuff and see stuff. So if you go with that as kind of a traffic thing, the other thing you should probably do is you want to stay within your neighborhood and visit only homes that you are comfortable with. You don't want to just be going crazy and visiting other houses. And also you want to sit down and make sure that your kid understands that you should never go into a car or never go into somebody's house to get candy. And so those are a little, cautionary things too. But then once you get the candy, you want to make sure that you want to express to them that, only accept wrapped or packaged candy, nothing that somebody's made. So the wrapped or packaged will be fine.
Exactly, and you want to make sure to have the parents check the candy when the kids get back from trick-or-treating before they start eating it. Definitely have the parents go through that and make sure that everything is all legitimate, wrapped, packaged, store-bought candy.
Correct. Yeah, you want to have the children bring home for an adult inspection before they eat it.
Exactly. Want to talk a little bit, Sean, more about walking through the neighborhoods. Of course, very important, as you say, to stick to your neighborhood, to stick to the houses that you know. I think usually people, what they'll do is have their lights on, maybe have a jack-o'-lantern out on the steps, but don't approach any darkened houses or go to unfamiliar neighborhoods.
Right. You want to be cautious of that. You want to be cautious of strangers, strange houses, and people coming, strange cars or any. You're 100% right. It's not worth like a candy bar to get yourself in some type of harm's way.
Absolutely. And there aren't any really specific hours that people go out and trick or treat. There's nothing that says, you have to do it from this time to this time. But there are kind of like unwritten guidelines as to, how late is too late or how early is too early.
Yeah, I think most people, they give people a chance to get home, maybe do a little something for dinner or something, and then they're kind of out there. Now, we have a thing on Main Street, Hyannis, for a lot of the children,
yes,
and that runs 4 to 6. So that is almost like during the daylight hours, which makes it relatively safe. That too, though, you have to be careful of cars, running in and out of cars and darting between cars, and the operator of the car has to be careful of people coming in and out of cars.
Exactly, and that's a great event. And again, 4 to 6 right on Main Street, the
right.
safe trick-or-treat. For, not everyone lives in a neighborhood where you can go door to door or, a safe place. And so to be able to have this opportunity to go up and down Main Street and visit the businesses, do your trick-or-treating while it's still light out, a very safe environment. And I know really hundreds of kids go to this every year. It's a great event.
They do, and it is. It's, the town puts it on. They've done it for a few years now. I think it's a great event. It runs on the safety side of it. Parents are, accompanying their children, and you're not going into like a strange house or getting into something that you don't know of.
Exactly. Now, Sean, I wanted to talk a little bit. Sometimes in the past, in tradition, the older kids have gone out and maybe done some vandalizing. Have we seen that happen at all here in Barnstable in recent years?
It hasn't been too bad. You can always call the bond. If you think there's somebody in your neighborhood, we used to try to tell the stores that if a kid comes in and he's like 14 years old, do not sell him a dozen of eggs.
Or lots of rolls of toilet paper.
That's right. He is not going home to cook an omelet. So right, or the toilet paper and stuff like that. So you have to use some common sense there, and we have in the past we've had some isolated incidents, but it hasn't really been too bad in the last few years. It used to be, I think, Halloween used to be like a while ago. It's kind of, I think,
mellowed out.
Kind of mellowed out, yeah.
Yeah. So, Sean, anything else that you want to get out there for parents and kids as they get ready to do trick-or-treating this Halloween?
No, just, use common sense. If you're a youngster, have some type of supervision with you, so you can have somebody that's monitoring where you're going and what you're doing. Watch out for the traffic. Don't eat any of that candy until it's inspected by your mom or dad or a parent or some other type of supervision, and have a great time.
Great. Well, Sean, I thank you so much for joining us today and sharing some Halloween safety tips. A pleasure talking with you, and have a great Halloween.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, thanks, everyone, for joining us this evening. Happy Halloween. Have a fun, safe night out there. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.